You probably have no trouble sitting in front of a screen to play video games or scroll through social media for 2 hours straight. But sitting down for 30 minutes to study or working on your side business, that feels like a massive effort. It is easy to blame a lack of willpower, but that is not the issue. The reason you prefer the easy tasks over the productive ones comes down to a mismatch in your brain chemistry. It revolves around a neurotransmitter called dopamine. People often call it the pleasure molecule, but its actual job is to make us desire things. It is the chemical engine that gives you the motivation to get up and take action. Over the next 5 minutes, we are going to build a personalized dopamine reward system. We will map out exactly how to adjust your environment so your brain begins to crave difficult, productive work. To do this, I need you to put your phone on silent right now. Then grab a physical piece of paper and a pen. By writing this system down on paper, we can take the activities you usually use to procrastinate and turn them into your strongest leverage for getting things done. To see how powerful this chemical is, look at this photograph of a scientist testing a rat in a lever box. Researchers did an experiment where they blocked the release of dopamine in the rat's brains. The animals became so lethargic, they lost the will to eat, drink, or mate. They wouldn't even get up for a drink of water. When the researchers reversed the process and stimulated the dopamine system whenever the rat pulled the lever, the animals developed an intense craving. They pulled the lever for hours, refusing food and sleep until they dropped from exhaustion. This photograph of a woman at a slot machine shows the human version of that lever. The highest possible dopamine release happens when you get a rando reward. You don't know exactly when the jackpot will hit, so you keep pulling. Today, we carry our own slot machines in our pockets. Every time you check your phone for a text, you anticipate a random reward. This constant scrolling floods your brain with unnatural amounts of immediate dopamine on a daily basis. This diagram shows a biological system called homeostasis. Your body works to keep its internal chemical and physical conditions balanced at all times. If you get too hot, you sweat to cool down. The scale behaves the same way with your brain chemistry. When you flood your system with high dopamine activities, your brain adapts by downregulating its own dopamine receptors. It reduces its own sensitivity just to handle the flood and maintain balance. You develop a tolerance. Once your tolerance is that high, tasks that release lower amounts of dopamine, like studying or building a business, fail to register on the scale. They feel physically impossible to start because your brain has adjusted its baseline to expect a massive spike. Now, look at your piece of paper. Draw a single vertical line straight down the middle to create 2 distinct columns. On the left side, write the header low dopamine. Underneath it, list 3 to 5 difficult tasks that you know will benefit you in the long run. Things like studying, cleaning your apartment, or building your business. On the right side, write the header high dopamine. Here, list 3 to 5 activities you frequently use to procrastinate. This could be playing video games, scrolling social media, or eating junk food. A quick but important note: if you are dealing with a severe, life-threatening addiction, do not include it on this list. Those require professional medical intervention and should not be treated as a casual reward. Looking at this audit, you can see that the activities on the right side aren't inherently bad. They simply need to be organized. We are going to use them to fuel the activities on the left. To make this system work, you need to establish a strict exchange rate between your 2 columns. You are going to trade your difficult work for a measured allowance of your leisure activities. This equation is your baseline ratio. For every 1 hour of hard, low dopamine work you complete from the left side of your page, you earn exactly 15 minutes of high dopamine reward from the right side. As you bank these hours throughout the day, the time scales up. If you put in 8 hours of difficult work, you earn a solid 2-hour block of free time. You can adjust these specific numbers, but the mathematical ratio must remain rigid. The order in which you do these things is just as important as the math. If you indulge in high dopamine behavior first, you will not have enough motivation left to handle the low dopamine tasks afterward. Look at this daily schedule. Notice where the yellow reward block sits. Write this rule at the top of your paper. No rewards can be consumed until the very end of the day. By banking the time and forcing the reward to the back of the line, you ensure the difficult work always takes priority. You are using the anticipation of the reward to drive the work itself. Even with a strict daily schedule, Constant exposure to those high dopamine rewards at the end of every day will eventually cause your receptors to fatigue. Over time, your sensitivity will naturally decrease again. To prevent this, you need a routine dopamine detox. This is a scheduled period where you step away from high stimulation activities to allow your brain's receptors to recover. Look at your calendar and pick one specific day of the week. Circle it. This will be your dedicated reset day. On this day, you will execute a partial detox. Choose one specific high dopamine behavior from the right column of your audit and completely abstain from it for 24 hours. The goal of this reset is to embrace boredom. By starving yourself of artificial stimulation once a week, you lower your tolerance until your normal, low dopamine tasks become interesting and engaging again. Look at the paper in front of you. You now hold a fully customized, mathematically balanced dopamine tracker, and it is ready for use right now. Be prepared for the first few days to feel difficult. Receptor recovery is a biological process that takes time, and you will have to push through the boredom of the first few sessions. Dopamine is what drives your behavior, regardless of your goals. But now that you understand the mechanics of tolerance and homeostasis, you have the power to consciously choose where that drive is directed. Put a 60-minute timer on the clock, execute your very first block of hard work from